In section 3D here, we're going to look at finding slope from 2 points, from graphing, and do some graphing stuff, and also talk about parallel and perpendicular lines and how that relates to slope. If you're just given 2 coordinates, we have a slope formula, okay, and this will be on the reference sheet, but if you remember, your slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. And we're going to do number 29 here. Okay, and remember in a point, okay, so if we're looking at 29, this is x1 and y1 from the first point, and this would be your x2 and y2. So if we go through and do our calculation here for the slope on this problem, it says make sure you do your y's on top, so we're going to take y2, which is 8, and we're going to subtract y1, which is negative 5. Now we're subtracting negative 5, and I'll adjust that here in a second. And then on the bottom, now if I went 8 minus negative 5, then I've got to go negative 2, subtract negative 13 on the bottom. Now, in both these cases, we have minus a negative, which turns into plus. So I'm going to get 8 plus 5 will be 13 on the top, negative 2 plus 13 will be 11 on the bottom, so 13/11ths. And we want to leave slope as an improper fraction. We never want to write it as a mixed number if it's the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, so let's go to the next page here, and we're going to look at number 38. Find the slope from a graph. Now, they have 2 points picked here, and if we look at 38, okay, remember that slope is defined to be rise over run. Now, we just looked at slope formula. If you're given a graph, it's easy, and I always go from my leftmost point to my rightmost point. So if I'm going to go from this point to this point, okay, I want to rise, and I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go over. Now, if you notice, how many did I rise? I went down here. And if you just count, I went down 3, so my rise is negative 3. How many did I run? Run would be going to the right, which is positive. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's positive 6. So if I write my slope, which is m, as rise over run, remember we use slope m for slope in mx plus b, so let's get in the habit of doing that. It'd be negative 3 over 6, and you always want to make sure you reduce if you can. In this case, we can reduce that to negative 1/2.